For those of you who have listened to the show before, welcome back. And for those guys that are tuning in for the first time, welcome. This is The Hit with Higgins and Boni. I'm Higgins. Bonnie's in Cleveland right now. We're away for the time being, but we're working on a way to get us to do this together on Zoom or however we can do it, but we're going to figure that out real soon. But I wanted to make this episode today a little bit personal because right now, for people that know me, I am a lacrosse player for the University of Hartford. I just transferred there. I got there in the fall of 2020, and recently, our school has decided to make the move from Division 1 to Division 3. And I wanted to talk about that today. I wanted to talk about it for all the student athletes at my school that feel like they have no voice in this matter. I want to inform people that might not know the situation. I want them to know what is going on, why it's wrong, and why we feel that it's wrong. So, to go into a little bit, for me personally, I have played Division III lacrosse before. For one semester in the fall of 2018, I was a member of the Salisbury University lacrosse team. And I transferred after one semester. And when I say that these guys were some of the best lacrosse players I've ever played with, I absolutely mean that. And for fans of lacrosse, you just saw them in the Division III National Championship. They lost in double overtime to RIT, but it was one of the greatest lacrosse games I've ever seen. And I would probably guess one of the best games that anybody's ever seen. And RIT is a very talented team in its own right. And when you look at Division III, you have RIT, you have Salisbury, you have Tufts, you have Ursinus, you have a bunch of schools that are really, really good at lacrosse. Cabrini, a bunch of schools. So before I go into this, I don't mean any of this as a slight against Division III lacrosse. They're very talented individuals. They're smart individuals. They know how to play the game. So this is not meant to bring any of those guys down. Because a lot of them are better than me, and that's the honest truth. But the fact that our president, Greg Woodward, wants to take us down from D1 to D3 is an absolute travesty. It's an absolute travesty, and here's why. We, as student athletes, in high school, in our own time, with extracurriculars, with club sports and everything, have worked so hard to get to Division 1. I went from Salisbury University to Onondaga Community College in Syracuse, New York. I was there for 2 years, 3 semesters. I was a member of the lacrosse team there. I won a national championship there. I was a captain there. I loved my time there. When it came time to find a new school, I chose the University of Hartford for a couple of reasons. It was really close to where I wanted to work in the future, which is ESPN. It's 20 minutes from Bristol. I had friends from high school there who said that they liked it and they thought that I should go. All the guys that I met up there and all the people that I met up there were great people, outstanding people. So I decided that I should go there. And for this to happen now, as I'm entering my senior year of college, is very disappointing. To think that our president thinks that going down from Division 1 to Division 3 just to save some money is absurd. And the problem with that is that President Woodward paid for this study independently through the school. And if you're doing that, you're paying for that study, you're paying to hear what you want to hear. That study came out and said that we are losing $13 million a year due to athletics. Okay. That's what you wanted to hear, so that's what they're going to tell you. If you did a little research, you would see that for the most part, every Division 1 program is losing money. If you go back to a study done in 2014, it will show you that every school with football, I might add, with football, loses on average $23 million a year. Non-Power 5 schools. Hartford is a non-Power 5 school. Without football, I'll add, but schools even with football. And football is a major moneymaker in today's world. $23 million on average you are losing. So to come out and say, oh, we're going to go down to Division 3 so we can save some money, when we are losing less money than a lot of schools in this country. We are not losing hundreds of $1 million a year. We're losing $13 million a year, which is what you came out and said, which is what the school came out and said. To think that you're going to save a little bit of money by not giving kids athletic scholarships is ridiculous. Kids work too hard to get to this point. Sure, it might be an ego thing to say, I'm a Division I athlete. It might be. But you know what? We earned that. Every basketball, lacrosse, softball, soccer, all these athletes earn the right to say, I'm a Division I athlete. And I would say, for the most part, a lot of these people would say, I was proud to go to the University of Hartford. I was proud to graduate from the University of Hartford. I was on a Division I team. We won games. I made friends for life. I've done that in a year. I've made friends for life. I enjoyed my lacrosse experience. I did. I didn't play a whole lot. I didn't. But I still enjoyed it. And it's just very disappointing to see that our president wants to take that away from us. And if you look at the actions that he has taken since all of this has kind of hit the fan, by the way, all of this hit the fan by accident because the professor he was emailing didn't know how to turn off his email during a Zoom class. The way he worded that email. And for people that aren't familiar with that email, President Woodward emailed the professor saying, just take care of things for me, and me and the spin doctors will figure out everything else. For people that watch ESPN, Scott Van Pelt reported on this. It's common knowledge. You can go look this up. That's what the email said. He was trying to work out a way where he could hide all this from us. Because the fact of the matter is, we would not have known this had that email not come out. We would have found this out in January of 2022 when they were planning to apply for Division III. By the way, this has never been done before. This doesn't happen. This is not like something common. People will go from FCS Division I to Division I or D3 to D2. People move up. No one goes down 2 levels. Doesn't happen. Especially with the caliber of athletics we have at this school. Our basketball team was just in the NCAA tournament. They lost to the national champions in the first round, but that's very impressive what they did. I know our lacrosse team did not have a lot of success this year, but in the past we've had success. We have won American East Championships. I know our softball team and our baseball team are outstanding. They're good. And I'm sure a lot of people saw on social media what our softball team did. They blacked out the Hartford on their jerseys, and they should have. They absolutely should have. Because at that point, they weren't playing for that school, they were playing for themselves. Because the school has basically come out and said, we're not backing you. We're not backing you up in this. And the fact our president has tried to lie to us about this, he lied about his athletic standing at his former school, which was Villanova. He said in his bio that he was a varsity soccer player there and was in the school's Hall of Fame. And he has since come out in an email to all the students and parents that that was a lie. He did 1 semester at Villanova on a club soccer team. He lied. Now, that's not the biggest lie in the world, but it's still a lie nonetheless. So he can't come to us and say he understands what we are all feeling, because he doesn't, because he's not that type of player. Or he wasn't that type of player. And every school that he has attended since then has come out and said there is no athletic record of Greg Woodward at their school. And let's also think about the fact that a couple weeks ago, the University of Hartford had their graduation. For 4 years, kids at our school have worked hard to get to that moment to graduate from college, to go and be adults. We let him have it. I'm sorry, I didn't let him have it, but all the seniors let that guy have it. Because he deserves to hear how we feel. And in the process of being booed on stage, he decides that he doesn't want to be there anymore, and he leaves. And he's trying to say that he didn't want to take away attention from everybody else because of a decision he made. Sure, maybe that sounds good, but that's just an excuse. It's a sorry excuse. You made that decision. You have to live with how it makes people feel and how people are going to respond to that. If you're not going to stand by your decision, then it obviously wasn't a good decision, was it? You can't stand behind the fact that we're losing $13 million a year to athletics when every other school is losing money. aside from Alabama and Duke and all these big time Power 5 football and basketball schools. They're not losing money. They're not. But we're not Duke, we're not Alabama, we're not North Carolina, we're not these big schools. We're Hartford. We're not a big school. I know that. But the type of people we have at that school, the type of student athletes we have at that school are good people who don't deserve to have this happen to them. And in the grand scheme of things, it's maybe not that big of a deal because it's 4 years of our life. Because after this, we're going to move on and we're going to be in the workforce doing whatever we dream to do. But for 4 years, though, we worked for these 4 years of being a Division I athlete. We committed all of our time, money, effort into getting this dream. I know I did. This has been a dream of mine since I've been in 8th grade. When I realized maybe I can go and play big time Division I lacrosse. And I had to make a couple stops along the way, and it was a very long journey for me. But I was able to achieve that dream. And now after 1 year, it's being taken away. And that's not right. Look at guys that were freshmen coming in. And I'll speak on behalf of some guys on the lacrosse team a little bit. Freshmen that came in here and maybe didn't play a whole lot. And that's fine. Freshmen usually don't play a whole lot unless you're extremely talented. But if you're a freshman, how would you look at the situation? You probably don't want to be at a school that is taking away your Division I right. You earned that Division I right, or else they wouldn't be there. So you don't have a lot of film on you because you didn't play a whole lot. And now maybe you want to transfer, but you don't have any film, so no one knows what to expect out of you. And because of COVID, rosters are inflated greatly because of graduate students and transfers and all of that. Plus, funds have been taken away because of COVID, just through the NCAA. You're kind of stuck. You are stuck at this school. Even if you don't want to be there, you're kind of stuck if you want to play. And you're just hoping for maybe next year you'll be able to get enough film where you can leave. Because they damn sure don't want to be at this school if the school isn't going to back them up, which they haven't. They haven't backed them up. And it's not right. It's not right. Think about some guys who are in my situation, who are seniors, who are rising seniors, who we have 1 year left. That's it. And there are a lot of guys below us that are choosing to leave, and you can't blame them. You can't blame them for doing that. I don't. I think if you can, you should. If that's how the school is going to take this, do it. Go find a better place. But I'm not leaving. I can't leave. I don't want to leave. In my 1 year there, I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed being there at the school. And I've made some great friends. My coaches are great. My professors have been great. So really, the problem isn't really with the school. And I'm sure if you asked anybody else at this school, they would say the same thing. It's the actions of one man who have led to this much pain. Not really pain, it's not really the right word, but this much just, we're just pissed off. We're pissed off. That's the best way to put it. And we've worked too hard. And I said this on Twitter a couple weeks ago when the announcement came down, is that we've all worked way too hard for this to just be taken away. And again, I don't mean this as a slight against Division III athletes. My brother is a Division III football player, and he's an outstanding football player. And the team that he plays for is an outstanding football team that is consistently in the Final Four in Division III, which is an amazing feat. I played for a school that was Division III, where every player who has been there for 4 years has gotten a national championship ring. And that's impressive. That's very impressive. I just think that for all the student athletes at this school who have worked hard for this point, to have it stripped away from you is not right. It's unfair. And I'm sure there are students at this school who aren't athletes who maybe don't think it's a big deal. That's okay. You don't have to think it's a big deal. Because I'm sure that you want more money for what you do. And I know Hartford is a big performance art school. And it's a big art school. It's big time, and I understand that. I think we all understand that. It's still not fair to us, though, to have it taken away. And think about kids who depend on these athletic scholarships. Granted, in lacrosse, I mean, you're not getting a full scholarship to play, but you're getting something. A lot of these kids get something to play, and they depend on that. So now, in 4 years or 3 years or however long you're going to take to do this, because they haven't even come out with a set deadline for this, you're taking that money away from them. You are. I mean, they say they're going to honor it, and that's cool, but I don't know. A lot of things you've said have seemed like lies already. So it's not fair to us, the student athletes. To any student athlete at this university, it's not fair. We deserve better. We deserve the transparency. We deserve a little bit more effort towards us because we work hard for that school. We don't wake up at 6 a.m. and lift and run and work our asses off for not just for our benefit. We do it for this school. We play for this school. We committed to this school. And you're taking this away from us. I know that was kind of just a rambled speech, but it's something that I've been thinking about for a very long time now, since all of this broke out into the news. Because honestly, it's a little terrifying. Because I have one more year left to play. I have 1 year left that I want to play, I mean. And I think there's going to be a team for us next year. I do. There's always a chance that there's not. And with all of this going on, I don't want to have to leave again. I don't want to have to. I know there's a lot of guys who are my class who don't want to go somewhere for their senior year. You've put in 3 years at a university. Why would you want to leave? Except if your president isn't going to back you up. So I understand for people that had just listened to that huge rant, that was a lot to take in, but just know that if you go online, you search Hartford Athletics, you search Greg Woodward, you search all these things, you can find articles to all these, and you can look up basic studies into the amount of money lost per year at universities due to athletics. It's all online. You can go check it out. I'll be posting this to our YouTube page. I'll be posting this on Twitter, on Instagram, for everybody to see. If you have questions, reach out to the site's pages. We'll get back to you. But I felt like everybody needed to hear what is going on at the school because a lot of people don't know. And hopefully people see this, they pass it on to their friends, and we can raise more awareness as to what's going on because we can still fight this. Let's be clear, we can still fight this completely. And hopefully that we can get enough support where we don't have to drop down. Because it's not fair. It's not right. We deserve this. So guys, make sure to tune in to the next show. It'll be a little more low-key than this. I know this was pretty serious. All of our other shows are pretty much in a joking manner. We just talk sports and everything. But this was important, and I feel like I have this platform now, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So thank you. Go have a good day. Tell your friends about this. Let's raise awareness of this because, again, one more time, this isn't right.